All right, last task. This is task 6, the rubric. So this project is going to be worth 36 points. Okay, that's going to be a pretty big chunk of your grade considering your other assignments are only 4 points. So make sure you guys are really putting in, and make sure it's really important that before you guys hand in your project, you guys go through and kind of do a self-evaluation. You guys can mark on these rubrics. I'll just go and mark on them. I ask that if you guys mark on them, you do not use the color red because that will be the color that I use. So choose different color, and then you guys can kind of go ahead and critically grade yourself. Okay, don't go through and be like, yeah, I want to do good, so I'm going to mark these. That's not going to make a difference. Use this as an opportunity to go back and make corrections if you guys are like, you know, I didn't feel great about this, and I feel like we could add more to it to get a 2 or a 4 or whatever we need. So this is how you guys are going to grade it. Read through the rubric with your team. Use any color except red to grade your final project. Use this as an opportunity to make corrections before your team submits the final project. Again, I'm not necessarily choosing your guys's project on grade, but those projects I do choose will have the higher grades. Okay, so keep that in mind that I'm going to have more than one group with a good grade. Okay, and so it's going to come down to how you guys present your project, the effort you guys put in, the creativity you guys put in, that competitive edge that I'm looking for. Okay, so here are your guys' rubrics. I kind of graded them or group them by category. The first one's going to be background information. So you guys are going to be graded on your information about the materials we're using. So you guys should be able to talk about PCMs and insulating materials correctly and thoroughly using multiple sources. Temperature plateaus, you guys should have good, ample, correct background information on those temperature plateaus. So you guys are demonstrating a clear understanding of temperature plateaus and phase change. Constraints versus criteria. You guys know the difference between the 3 design criteria and then the constraints, like kind of why we're building this, what different things do we have to think about as, you know, we're designing this incubator. Okay, and then design. Okay, your design is computer generated, so you guys are giving me a picture of that design. It shows your PCMs on it. It shows the cost of it. It shows your guys' insulating material. If it doesn't show that, you guys have them labeled in some aspects so I can see every component of your design. Okay, next slide. This is going to be your guys' data. So if we look at criteria 1, criteria 2, and criteria 3, you guys can kind of see the range of what you guys need to do as far as your design goes. And if you don't get a 4 out of 4 on all of these, that's okay. Remember, you guys have those trade-offs. It's not going to hurt your grade that significantly if you guys are like, oh, we might have been a little low on our cost. Okay, and this could change. This is subject to change a little bit, and I'll let you guys know if I make any changes just because of what you guys kind of start generating as data and what I start seeing when I grade these. It might change a little bit. Okay, but that's going to be the only thing that changes. All right, your data table. So how you guys present your data, you guys should have a clear, like neatly, preferably computer generated data table that clearly shows me what your guys' data for your tests were. Okay, your graphs, you guys should have the computer generated graph that shows me like the reheating, all the different lines with the temperature plateaus, the baby's temperature, all that stuff. And then the biggest thing though that I'm looking for is, did you guys explain that correctly? Okay, so I need to make sure you guys are doing a good job explaining that you understand what those graphs are telling us. Okay. Next one is going to be, it's taking a little longer there, your guys' actual project. So your priorities, did you guys do a good job explaining your design criteria? Which one you prioritize as most important, which one you prioritize as least important. So your priorities are ranked and thoroughly explained as to why one criteria is more important and one is considered the least important. Okay, and then trade-offs are discussed and are applied in your reasoning of your best design. So again, go back to those slides on task 5 and look at your guys' trade-offs and how you guys use those. And then the other thing I'm looking for is comparisons. Did you guys make comparisons to other designs? Okay, so did you talk about some of your other data you saw and why you did not choose those designs and why you chose yours instead? Okay, and then a tie-in. Did you guys kind of tie together your priorities and your trade-offs to explain why your device fits in as the best device? Okay, how does your device fit with that and why does that make it the best? Okay, so that's just kind of your wrap up of these 2 concepts, pulling them together and explaining how that applies to your device. Okay, next slide is going to be the last slide. So this is kind of, again, what's going to give you that competitive edge to win this. Yes, all the other information is very important, but here's going to be what makes you guys different from other groups. Okay, were you creative? Okay, I was able to read your guys's or go through your project and you know, you had different interesting ways to pique my interest and stand out above the other groups. Okay, you guys should present a sharp competitive edge. Neatness, your product or pitch is very well put together and looks professionally done. You can tell time and effort were put into this pitch or this project. Okay, and then finally punctuality, you guys got your project turned in on time. Okay, if you're a day late, you only get 1 point on that. If you're more than a day late, you guys will get no points for that category. Okay, so again, these are all things that I'm going to be looking for as I grade through theirs. Take a second in a color other than red to go through, read through the 1 categories, the 2 categories, figure out where you guys fit in, and be critical of yourselves, okay? If you're critical of yourself, you're going to go back, you're going to make changes, and you're going to make sure you're getting to that 2 level or that top level, okay? That's the end of this project, though. It is due. I'll let you guys know the due date as it'll change from year to year. So make sure you guys are doing some hard work. Make sure everyone is participating. And make sure you guys are thinking of that competitive edge that's going to set you apart from other groups.